last week we compared the Toyota Vitz RS GS to the Suzuki Swift RS, and it was clear that the Suzuki was ultimately the better car thanks to its better performance, efficiency, affordability and features. But we had a discussion after that video with some viewers, and someone asked, is there a better hot compact hatchback that can beat the Swift RS in the Kenyan market currently? And the answer to that question is probably. If you thought the Vitz RS was a serious competitor to the Swift RS, then you may be surprised to find out that there is in fact an even more worthy competitor, the Mazda Demio diesel. Yes, this car may very well give the Swift RS a run for its money. These two cars are so good that you may need both your heart and mind to make up a decision on which exact one to go for. When I speak of your mind, I mean you have to compare them and pick the best one in terms of performance, efficiency, reliability, and ease of maintenance. Those are some of the most important aspects to consider when selecting the car you want to buy. On the other hand, when I speak of your heart, I mean aspects such as aesthetics, the feel of the car, generally which car does your heart feel inclined to. These two aspects are very important because you may find yourself in a situation whereby a car, let's say car A, makes more sense because it's better in terms of efficiency, reliability, etc. than car B, but you still seem inclined to go for car B. This happens a lot to clients when trying to make a decision on which car to go for. And in this comparison between the Swift RS and Demio diesel, it is prone to happen, and that's why you need both your heart and mind. They have quite a number of similarities as well as differences. Let's try to dissect each of them and draw a line between them, because as good as they are, you can only go for one. Which one will win? The heart or the mind, or maybe both? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to Ekevoto Reviews. Now this time we will only focus on the RS variant of the Suzuki Swift and the diesel variant of the Mazda Demio. Last week we also tried to talk about the other engine options and variants, and that's why the video was slightly longer. We are going to compare the 2017 models. So the 2017 Swift is the third generation, which was in production from 2016 till 2022, while the 2017 Demio is also the third generation, which has been in production from 2014 till present. Beginning with the power plants, the Swift RS comes with the 1000cc 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine that is available in two configurations. One is a mild hybrid and the other is a non-hybrid. The latter produces 109 horsepower while the former produces 112 horsepower. The difference is only about 3 horsepower. It's a very mild and uncomplicated hybrid setup that can still enable the car to move even if the hybrid system fails. So there's nothing much to worry about the reliability of this hybrid system. Now in terms of torque, this 1000cc engine produces around 150 Newton meters of torque, which is 100 less than what the Demio diesel produces. Power can be sent to either the front or all wheels via a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic. Now this car can sprint from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 10.5 seconds depending on the weight the car is carrying. That is very decent, and in fact surprisingly slightly faster than the Demio, which has a larger engine with much more torque, but you also have to consider power to weight ratio. The Demio is quite heavy compared to this Swift. Generally, diesel engines are normally heavier compared to petrol engines. In fact, even if you take a 1.5 liter petrol versus a 1.5 liter diesel, the diesel will still be heavier because they are made of heavier materials to withstand the very high compression ratios. Reliability wise, just as I said in the previous video, this 1000cc in the Swift RS is very good. The turbo is small, so the engine is not that much strained to produce the power, and in fact if you drive it decently without too much constant hard accelerations, then this engine can last for years and years without any major problems. It's that too much and frequent hard accelerations that kills some of these turbo engines and even transmissions. So don't drive it like a safari rally. That said, this engine packs in very good power. Picking up highway speeds and overtaking is not a problem at all. This car will even humiliate something like a Toyota Axio, Prius, etc. on the road. As for the hybrid system, Suzuki uses an electric motor by the name integrated starter generator, which is powered by the batteries. These batteries are charged through regenerative braking, and essentially they assist the engine during acceleration by boosting the performance by around 3 horsepower. In addition to that, they also help to power some of the vehicle's electrical components such as the AC. So in a nutshell, this engine is small and light, but it packs in good power and efficiency. And in addition to that, it's one of the smoothest three-cylinder engines you can get in the market currently. There are almost no vibrations even when idling. Expect around 17 kilometers per liter on average depending on how you drive. You can even get better figures of up to around 20 kilometers per liter if you drive very carefully. Onto the Mazda Demio diesel. This car comes with a 1500cc 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine that churns out 105 horsepower and a whooping to 50 newton meters of torque. Now it has more torque but less horsepower compared to the Swift RS, and what matters when it comes to acceleration and overtaking is torque. So theoretically the Demio diesel should be faster than the Swift RS, but as I said earlier, power to weight ratio also plays a key role and it benefits the lighter Swift RS, but do take note that once they both pick up speed, the Demio may be at par or slightly ahead of the Swift RS. Power can be sent to either the front or all wheels via either a 6-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. In fact, these two cars are among the very few ones that have not embraced the CVT transmissions. Performance-wise, the diesel is seriously good. Power is always available, lower down the RPMs. Doing 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 11 seconds is pretty good. It's a car that will not struggle at all to make overtakes or go up steep inclines. So we can comfortably say that these two vehicles are almost even when it comes to performance. Though do take note that the 6-speed Sky Active automatic in the Demio is sharper and a bit more engaging than the one in the Swift RS. In terms of reliability, people often get scared when they hear about Mazda diesels. Now, the most affected Mazda diesel engine is the 2.2-liter turbo diesel in the CX-5 and Atenza. I have seen several of them with overheating issues, especially models from around 2016 and below. So far, I have only come across one 2017 model of the CX-5 that overheated twice in less than 1 year. So generally, with every model year, Mazda has been trying to improve these engines. That said, the 1.5 liter in the Demio and CX-3 is not as problematic as that 2.2 liter, though it is still sensitive, so you have to be careful in terms of the diesel you use. So watch where you fuel. Don't just refuel in any petrol station. Also, you may consider deleting the DPF to prevent any future issues to do with the blockages, especially if you rarely go on long distances. Another important thing is to always use the recommended oil and service parts, as well as performing the service at the recommended time. I actually did a video some time back about Mazda diesel engine maintenance where I covered all these issues plus the do's and don'ts. You can check it out. I'll leave a link to that particular video in the description box. So generally, this diesel engine can be reliable, but only if you are careful with its maintenance and also engage proficient mechanics who fully understand what they are doing. I should also briefly talk about the IE loop system, that stands for Intelligent Energy Loop. Now, instead of using an alternator, this Mazda system uses a capacitor to store up energy that is generated during braking. So instead of that energy being wasted, it is stored in that capacitor, then used to power the car's electrical components, and this in turn helps to increase the efficiency because the engine is now relieved of doing that extra work of powering the electrical components. Now, a few things to keep in mind. That capacitor is located somewhere behind the front bumper, and in the event of even a small collision, it may get damaged and require replacement. And something else is that the car may not be able to move without that capacitor. So it's important to keep that in mind. Also, in a situation whereby the capacitor needs to be replaced, make sure you engage professionals. Otherwise, the risk of fire or electrocution may not be that far. As for efficiency, expect anywhere between 17 to around 23 kilometers per liter, depending on how you drive. The Swift RS has a 37-liter fuel tank, while the Demio has a 44-liter tank. The ground clearance on the Swift RS measures in at 120 millimeters, which is just very low. It aids in good handling due to a lower center of gravity, but on Kenyan roads, that clearance will not be so favorable. Demio is slightly better in that regard, measuring in at 145 millimeters. To avoid scratching the underside of these vehicles, I will recommend installation of slightly larger wheels instead of modifying the suspension, which may just end up interfering with the ride and handling. Stopping power is made possible in both vehicles by ventilated discs at the front, but at the back the RS gets solid discs, while the Demio gets drums. As for suspension, both cars get McPherson struts at the front, while at the back the Swift RS gets coil springs and the Demio gets a torsion bar. The ride feels refined and comfortable in both vehicles. Moving on to the safety features, they both score quite well. They get standard features such as 4 airbags, ABS, EBD, brake assist, hill hold assist, traction control, and collision mitigation. The optional features depending on the trim level in the Swift RS are blind spot detection, adaptive cruise control, and rear cross traffic alert, while in the Demio they include the lane keeping assist and blind spot detection. It's quite impressive to see some of these active driver assist safety features in these cars, yet some more expensive vehicles don't even offer them as options. The carb weight of the Swift RS weighs between 840 to 1025 kgs, while that of the Demio diesel around 11-15 kgs. So you can just see that the Demio diesel is significantly heavier compared to the Swift RS. As for the extra features, depending on the trim level, in the Suzuki, you can get a 360 degrees parking camera, red interior accents, a navigation, cruise control, a driver's armrest, heated seats, and sportier 17-inch alloy wheels. On the Demio diesel, you can get features such as a heads-up display, fog lights, body kit, and rear spoiler, cruise control, beige interior, digital speedometer, projector LED headlights, automatic AC, and sportier alloy wheels. So generally quite good in both vehicles. They can come very well kitted for their price. Lastly, what about their prices? A 2017 Swift RS will currently set you back anywhere between 1.15 to around 1.4 million, depending on the trim level and mileage, while a 2017 Demio is going for between 1.05 to around 1.38 million. So they are almost evenly matched, though the Demio diesel is a bit more affordable. In fact, the petrol variants are slightly more expensive compared to their diesel counterparts, and that is largely due to the fear of the sensitivity of the diesel. So most people prefer the petrol variants. Now, considering you can get a top trim 2017 Demio diesel with around 1.2 or 1.25 million and around 1.35 million for the top trim Swift RS, the Demio seems like a good value proposition. But before you talk about value for money, let's quickly talk about the exteriors and interiors of these vehicles. Which one do you think looks the part? Do let me know in the comment section. Personally, I think the Demio diesel takes the day. That Kodo design beats almost all the competitors. It just strikes the perfect balance between elegance and sportiness. This is one design that will age up perfectly. Even after 10 years, it will still look awesome. The Swift RS, on the other hand, is not flashy. It's just simple but with a bit of a sporty vibe. It's a good looking car, but the Demio is better. Moving on into the interiors, again, the Demio just seems better. It's premium and has an almost luxurious feel. The build quality is very good, and in fact, it's the best in this class. The dash layout is really well done, but that's about it in terms of the interior positives. The space and practicality on offer is not so impressive. The second row of seats is cramped, and taller people will certainly not find it comfortable back there, especially on long distances. The boot is again not that good. It has a capacity of around 280 liters. Not so good, but still better than what you get in the Swift RS. Moving on to the Swift RS, the dash design is simple and straight to the point. It's functional and easy to access all the controls. It feels well built but not as premium as that of the Demio. In terms of the space and practicality, it's just as cramped up as the Demio, if not slightly worse. At the front it's okay, but at the second row it's just not good. Taller people will struggle. The boot has a capacity of around 242 liters, which is 38 liters less than the Demios. Not much can fit back there. In fact, these are cars that are ideal for single people or very small families of say 3 to maybe 4 people. So now quickly on to their pros and cons, beginning with the Swift RS. This is a very reliable, efficient, compact hatchback that has very good performance from a very refined 3-cylinder engine that is also affordable to maintain. It's also a feature-loaded car that offers good value for money. Yes, it may be slightly more expensive to buy than the Demio diesel, but remember it's more reliable and affordable to maintain compared to the Demio diesel. Onto its weaknesses, it has a low ground clearance, and secondly, it's very cramped in terms of the interior and boot space. Onto the Demio diesel, this is one of the best looking compact hatchbacks out there. It also offers good value for money. It has a premium build quality, very efficient, offers good performance, and is feature loaded as well. Onto its cons, just like the Swift, it has a low ground clearance. It has limited interior space, though it's marginally more spacious compared to the Swift. Another con, though a minor one, is that being a diesel, it's slightly more expensive to maintain compared to the Swift, which is a petrol. Lastly, being a sensitive diesel, issues to do with the turbo and DPF can crop up. This is an engine that needs keen and careful maintenance, as we discussed earlier. With all that said, which one should you go for? This is a tricky one. These are both really good vehicles, but let's first engage our minds. Going by the specifications, the Demio diesel seems to come on top. Why? Because it's more affordable, more efficient, more premium, and offers many features. It may not be as bulletproof as the Swift, but if well cared for, it can last for a very long time. Still on engaging our minds, the Swift is as bulletproof as it gets in terms of reliability, has very good performance, and is affordable to maintain. So in terms of mind engagement, these cars are very sensible choices. They have enough logical reasons to make someone seriously consider them. Now let's engage our hearts. It's no doubt that the good looks of the Demio will win the hearts of many, and it has actually won the hearts of many. In fact, despite the diesel issues, many people have still gone for it because they really love the car. They followed the hearts, and no wonder it's called the Kenya school uniform. On the other hand, if your heart desires that you go for something different other than the Kenya school uniform, then the Swift RS is a seriously good option. Now, all factors considered, if you want absolute reliability, then get the Swift RS. But if you really love the Demio diesel and are willing to ensure you offer good maintenance, then get the Demio diesel. That said, there must be a winner, and considering all the important factors with both the mind and heart, the Suzuki Swift seems a bit better, especially due to solid reliability, ease of maintenance, and even spare parts affordability. And it's my recommendation. I will go for it, but I must confess I will keep scratching my head every time I think of the Demio diesel. That's how good both of these vehicles are. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this has been helpful. As always, feel free to reach me via WhatsApp or email if you have any enquiries. That's it for today's episode. Stay safe, drive safe, and see you in the next one. But don't forget to subscribe before you go.